Hey, what's up guys? Chris from Factory Forge here. I got a couple questions that I want to talk about today that involve team development. Getting a lot of stressed out gym owners, a lot of frustrated staff members, and let's be honest, it's going to happen to you at some point, and if it hasn't, it's likely because your business hasn't grown into the life cycle of having having employees, and hiring people that are career focused in helping you actually grow your business and contribute to the success. So I want to dive into some of the questions that we've gotten so far, talk about the issues, get them open and in front of you so that you can learn from some of the mistakes that I've gone through and some of the current issues that new businesses are facing, businesses that have been open for a few years, and then what are some of the most successful gyms doing in terms of staff development and the growth, because sooner or later you're going to have to rely on someone and let go of some of the responsibilities that are really preventing you from reaching that next level in your business. So let's talk about one of the first issues that came across is I'm struggling with accountability, right? And what does that even mean? I can't get my employees to produce work that actually matters, or I'm having a difficult time holding someone to a deadline and actually, getting the project to move forward seems like it's taking forever. And quite honestly, that's going to be the case. And there's specific reasons for why these issues are arising. Many of you out there, myself included, when I was just getting going, I'd never managed anyone. And it's a whole different skill set of going from a coach and managing a group and really being the executor and the performer out there on the floor to actually teaching someone what the standard is inside your class, and then ultimately helping them, guiding them, and mentoring them. And part of a manager's job is actually to reinforce the deadlines and set reminders. And let's be honest, those things are not fun. So if you don't have that managing personality and skill set, you're going to have to strengthen that muscle, because if you own a gym, that's going to be an active part of building a team and growing a successful business. So what are some of the things that actually can evolve from those issues? Well, you get smarter. For one, and what that usually means is you start putting in structure. You start holding accountability meetings. You start having a team-like atmosphere where you can rely on people for individual issues, not because you've assigned that to them or you've picked them. They've actually stepped up to the plate where they get what you're trying to accomplish. They actually enjoy and like the work that you're asking of them, and they want to do it. And those are some of the areas that you've got to focus on when you're building a team. And often that I hear from new businesses is they take the first person that gets excited to help. Maybe it's a member, maybe it's someone that you've have a friendship with, but they're truly not skilled in that area, or they're really not qualified is another way to look at that. So you have to go back, and if you're struggling in this area, you have to really truly understand, is this the right person for that job based on qualifications, experience, interest? So replay that kind of as you guys think through your current teams or the team you want to build. Those things have to be in place. All right, let's dive into this is another big topic where I don't know how to use my employee. Like, I've got someone on my team, but what do I do with them? I've never been put in this position before, and quite honestly, when I walk into work, they look lost, or they're just hanging out, or it feels like I'm doing all the work even though I have staff. If that sounds like you, there's a couple things going on. For one, structure, accountability, guidance all come to mind in this area. And really what that means is you got to have processes in place. You got to make sure people understand what it is that is expected of them, and then how to go about achieving that task or completing that process to ultimately move the company forward. Now, this is going to be your responsibility to have that insight and that clarity, and that's why you have to study and learn outside of just being a technical or technician inside the coaching role. You have to have this broad view of all the moving parts of your business, and that's what's going to make you a better leader. I stumbled a lot, early on in trying to understand the scope and, how big, my responsibility as the owner was across all these different divisions inside the business that, would take me to a new level. And I struggled in certain areas, but eventually you find your way, and it starts with adding your first employee, because as a employee, I'm a owner, operator, and employee, but as I grew from that particular area of my business to having my first employee, that employee bought me time to go and work on other areas of the company that actually created growth. And some of you are finding that to be the first step, is like removing yourself from the coaching floor. You get this, sense of relief. I've got time back. I can do stuff. I can work on the business. And then you're like, well, holy crap, what do I actually work on now that I have this time? So that's the evolution that I'm talking about, is you have to constantly know not only what you want and expect of this employee, but also, well, what am I going to do now that I have this time? So that's the growth and the opportunity that I'm talking about. The last thing, let's talk about probably the most significant among small business owners, is finding the resources, right? Chris, I don't have money to pay or hire someone. Why does my employee feel more like an expense than an asset that's actually contributing? And the truth is you've got to be resourceful. We don't have the luxury of having specialists or departments at certain growth phases of the business. Ultimately, we're trying to work to that level of having these key people who can execute because they get it, they want it, they like it, and they are just studying this single area of the company so much because they're just passionate about it. They want to be that team player. Think of a football team where you have specialists. You got the quarterback, the running back, the lineman. Like, each person has a specific role in order to make that team function in a successful way. And your business teams are no different. It's about having these key areas. So as you guys evolve, you're going to find that you're likely going to need a marketing specialist, someone who can handle advertising and social media, emailing clients and keeping them updated of important, whether it's promotions or events and whatnot. And then you're probably going to need someone who can excel in sales. It's often that I see in the gym business that coaches are very service driven, and they don't like to sell or don't enjoy that. So it's a unique personality. And sales include not only just understanding the scope of the membership, but actually closing the deal and communicating at a level that someone can understand what they're going through and how to find a solution through your membership options. And lastly, the servicing. That's a major coaching role, but it's not about what just happens on the class level. It's about diving into the layers of your service that really make up your membership, and making sure someone can be aware of that and grow that over time. So you're already starting to see there's Chris, there's so many roles. How do I fill them on my budget? And the truth is, in small business, you're going to find yourself in a position where people have to be dual role employees, where they have to contribute and kind of split their time between these areas. And it's not until you get the resources and the revenues that you can start to add specialists where they don't have dual roles, they've got singular focuses. So hopefully this, guys, helps kind of zero in on some of the things that we're hearing and that we're helping with inside our Factory Forge courses, inside our events. So if you're struggling in this area, reach out to us, comment on this video below if you got some specific questions. We'll hopefully get you started in the right direction. Just hang in there, make sure that you're following along so that you guys can grow outside of these cycles. And just know we've all experienced this as gym owners, and it's hopefully something that we can get you to skip some of these learning curves through watching our videos, through contributing and commenting. So enjoy the video, guys, and comment below if you have any questions. Talk to you soon.